Hello everyone, myself Paula Makwana, Assistant Professor of EC Department at LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. Welcome to the session of Satellite Communication. In the previous session we have finished unit number 10. In today's session we are going to start unit number 11, that is the last chapter of satellite communication, that is satellite, mobile and specialized services. In today's session we will see the history of GPS, what is GPS, what are the different elements of GPS, how it going to work, at which frequency we are going to use a GPS, what are the limitations and what are the applications of GPS. So, before starting what do you mean by GPS, let us first study the history of GPS. First of all, GPS is also known as Navstar. The full form is navigating by stars. That means it requires a clear night and a careful measurement for a most widely used for centuries. That's why this GPS project was developed in 1973 to overcome the limitation of previous navigation system. Apart from that, it was created and realized by the US Department of Defense, which originally runs a 24 satellite. That's why we need to study GPS. So, what is GPS? GPS is acronym for a global positioning system, in which it is a space-based satellite navigation system which provides location and time information in all weather. Apart from that, the GPS system is maintained by United States government and it is freely accessible with GPS receiver by anyone, right? So, we are first focusing on a brief overview of GPS. As I told you that GPS means Navstar. It is a navigational satellite timing and ranging global positioning system, that is Navstar GPS. So it basically consists of 30 plus GPS satellite in MEO. MEO stands for Medium Earth Orbit, which has a distance from the surface of Earth is 2000 km to 35,000 km that we have already discussed in the earlier chapters. So, it is made up of 24 satellites which is working in harmony, which are known as a satellite constellation. So, for that, this GPS is mainly used for the navigation, surveying and the map making. So what are different elements of GPS? There are basically three elements, or we can say three segments. First is space segment, control segment and the user segment. We will see this all segment one by one. This is a space segment in which it includes a satellite. Second, this is a control segment in which we are going to monitor the position of user continuously and we are going to make a controlling of that particular user's movement. And the third one is the user segment in which it includes a user. Alright. First we are focusing on the space segment. So the GPS satellite which fly in the circular orbit at an altitude of 20,200 km with a period of 12 hours. So for that we need a power supply. So they are going to power by a solar cells and the satellite will continuously orient themselves to point directly to the solar panel, and our solar panel is directly pointed towards sun, right? And the antenna which is pointed towards the earth, because we are continuously transmitting and receiving the signal, right? And our orbital planes which are centered on the earth. So we can say that at least 6 satellites are always within the line of sight from any location on the planet, right? Now, second, the control segment. It includes 3 entities: master control system, monitor station, and the ground antenna. Now, what is master control station? The master control station means it is responsible for the overall management of remote monitoring and transmission sites. Second, the checkup will be performed twice a day by each of 6 stations as the satellite completes the journey around the earth. So, we can reposition a satellite to maintain the optimal GPS constellation. That was control station. Now second is monitor station, which checks the exact height of the satellite from the surface of Earth. What is the exact position on which orbit satellite lies, and at which speed a satellite is going to be rotated around the Earth. So monitor station will check all these possibilities of satellite, that is altitude, position, speed, and the overall health of orbiting satellites. So this control segment will ensure that the GPS satellite orbits and clocks remain within the acceptable limits. So a station can track up to 11 satellites at a time. So this checkup is also performed twice a day. Now, the third element is ground antenna. So what is the use of the ground antenna? So the ground antenna will monitor and track the satellite from the horizon to horizon. It will also transmit a correction information to individual satellite. That means it will also correct, or it will also receive the signal if it is required to correct the position, speed, altitude, and the velocity of satellite. And it communicates with the GPS satellite for command and control purpose. The third segment is the user segment. In the user segment, the GPS receiver will be there. That means it actually consists of an antenna which is tuned to a specific frequency which is transmitted by the satellite. Second, the processor to process that received signal. Third, a clock pulse. Why? Because we need to trigger the processor. So it is basically a crystal oscillator is there. So these 3 are included in the GPS receiver. Apart from that, it can also include a display for showing location and a speed information to the user. So this receiver is described by its number of channels, right? So we can say that at the user side, these 3 elements must be present, right? So as of now, the receivers usually have between 12 to 20 channels for a single user. We can see the example of a GPS in which you can see over here, this 2 are my satellites. So satellites are included in the space segment, right? This is our Earth. This on Earth, monitoring station is there, and the user segment, a receiver is there. GPS receiver is there, right? If the user is moving from one place to other place, so it is going to be continuously monitored by this monitoring station, and the signal is going to be transmitted to the space segment. Alright, so in the ground segment, Earth station is there. In the space segment, satellite is there, and in the user segment, GPS receiver is there, right? So now we are focusing on the working principle. The basic geometric principle is we are able to find a one's location if we know the distance from other, which is already a known location, right? So what are the different things which we can determine? First of all, it is the current location of GPS satellite and the distance between receiver's position and the GPS satellite. How? The distance between receiver's position and GPS satellite will going to be worked by a GPS receiver, which can tell its own position by using the position data of itself, and they are going to be transmitted and compare that data with 3 or more GPS satellite, right? So how to get the distance to each satellite? So first, we are measuring the amount of time which is taken by the radio signal, or we can say a GPS signal, that is going to be traveled from the satellite to receiver, right? Second, the radio waves which travel at the speed of light, that is about 1,86,000 miles per second. So we are focusing on the calculation of distance. So the distance from the satellite to the receiver can be determined by the formula, which is a distance is equals to speed into time, right? So the receiver's position we can easily find out from this formula. Now the distance measurement from the two satellites, this is a two satellite which we can see over here, that it limits our location to the intersection of two spheres, right, which is a circle. The third measurement will narrow down our location to just a 2 points, and the fourth measurement will determine which point is our true location. How? You can see over here that there are 3 circles over here in which 4 satellites are there. If you want to find my exact location, so that is going to be found out by 4 satellite, which will gives you the accurate position of the specific user, right, which is on the Earth with a GPS receiver, right? So at a time 4 satellites were there. Now at which frequency we are going to use for the GPS? First is 1575.42 MHz. Second frequency is 1227.6 MHz. Third is 1381.05 MHz. Likewise, these 5 frequencies are there for GPS. Now, what are the limitations? The limitations are, the first, a GPS can provide a worldwide 3-dimensional position. So for that, it can be used for any weather and 24 hours a day. But there must be relatively a clear line of sight between my GPS antenna and 4 or more satellite, because we are continuously connected with the 4 satellites, right? So it requires a 4 satellite to monitor, and it requires a continuous line of sight, means point-to-point communication. Third, because of that, it becomes difficult to ensure a reliable positioning. So, these difficulties are particularly in the urban areas. So, for that, it will also introduce a multi-path interference, because a GPS signal may bounce off by nearby objects, right? So these are the limitations. Now what are the applications? The application is, first is for survey. That means a surveyor use absolute location to make a maps and determine the property boundary. Second is telematics, in which a GPS technology is integrated with the computers and mobile communication technologies. Apart from that, we are able to track a vehicle anytime, anywhere. So over here, the first topic of chapter number 11, that is GPS, is over. But still, if you have any doubt, you can ask me at any time on my email ID. In the next session, we will see the second and the most important topic of unit number 11, that is VSAT. Alright. So in the next session, we will finish unit number 11. Till then, thank you for your attention.